Welcome. Let's go. Here we go. Campus All Sports, we are here tonight. We're going to talk some track. We're going to talk a little football, but mostly some track. We have a special guest tonight to talk some track with us, and my co-host, Next Up Sports Talk TV, big man in the building. So we're just going to have some fun and we're just going to talk track. And we're going to do a little character breakdown for you guys. So let's get into it. So next up, introduce yourself to the people, man.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome, man. Appreciate you, Campus, for having me on the platform. Long time coming. And I'm trying to tell you, man, God is the greatest, and there's no time other than right now. We got a superstar in the building, and I can't wait to ask the superstar some questions about track and field, man. I'm excited. I'm interested. Let's get it going. Thank you for having me, brother.
Okay. So our guest tonight, I'm going to let her introduce herself, our event, and just tell us how it feels to represent our school and one of the biggest track and field event in the Caribbean, the boys and girls champs. So without further ado, introduce yourself. Welcome.
Good night, everyone. My name is Tanille Smiley. I'm a student of Hydel High. My events are 200 and 100 meter. I have
And 4 by
been a
1.
part of. I have been a part of the Hydel track team for 5 years now.
Lovely,
Okay.
lovely.
Okay. All right, I'm going to let next up do the honors. And for those who don't know, this is the lovely daughter. This is my lovely daughter. So I know the struggles. I'm gonna let next up ask the questions. If he has any question, I have a few questions to ask, but I'm gonna let next up start. So let's go.
So right off the bat, just let the people them know why track and field? Why no other sport? Where did the love for track and field come from for you?
Well, as you can see, my father, he pushed me to do it, so I developed the love for it.
Awesome. And over the years you continue to build that love for yourself and train to do your specific events 1 and 2. Was that always the events you wanted to do, 100 and 200?
Yes, but as I started Idol, I was a quarter mile at first.
I
So
was
I
a lot of people
ended
run
up
away
going
from
there.
that. How did that go?
Well, it was a little hard because you had to train a lot. When you're a quarter mile, you have to put in most of the work than anybody else. So it was kind of hard. Maybe, maybe the coach saw that that wasn't my strongest part of the event, so he switched me to sprints.
So they would say usually when you come from quarter mile and you come down, you bring a lot of that strength that it would take to withstand the training and the actual event of a quarter mile run. Do you feel the same for yourself?
Um, Kinda, but I wasn't training to be a quarter mile for that long, so I don't think I am strong. I don't think that I'm that strong in the sprints coming from a quarter mile perspective.
Okay. Go ahead, Campus.
So how was the transition from quarter miler to the sprints?
I would say that it wasn't quite difficult. It was like I was glad that I switched from quarter mile to sprint because I saw that in myself I couldn't manage the quarter mile program. So I was kind of happy that I went to the sprint. So I just know that I had to put in more work and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. And so when you started doing the 100 and the 200, what was the most difficult part of that? How was the process? What was the most difficult part of adjusting to that training?
It wasn't all that difficult. It was a smooth transition.
Huh? You hearing me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. So, all right. So, talk to us about a little bit. Talk to us about a little bit about the coaching. What's the difference? Oh, and before you go that, how was it at primary level? Because yeah, you were a good primary athlete as well. Talk to us about the your days at primary champs.
One of the days at primary champs, going into the preparatory part of champs. It was fun because we were young. So it was basically we weren't thinking about the harder or the more advanced part of it. So we were just doing it for fun, doing what we love because we were young.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Next up.
So now getting into it. Let the people know again what form you in for school. Is it your last year? Are you going for another year? And then I want to know, how was champs for you?
Okay, so I'm now in 12th grade, sixth form. So I have one more year in school and one more year in the track.
So how
And
was it this year for you on the track? How was it this year for you? How was your season leading up to champs? And how was that champs experience? Because a lot of people don't get that experience. So you gotta give us that POV, that point of view.
okay, so leading up to champs, it was kind of difficult because I wouldn't say I got injured with my foot because I fell on a tile and my foot was all messed up. So I missed out a lot of training. So coming back into training, my mindset was that I have to train better so I could go to champs and do good because I'm not gonna let one injury bring me down. So I had to build back up my strength and my positive mindset to go into champs. So I had to train good.
And after training through it, picking up the injuries, because injuries is a part of sport. Whether it's during when you're training or just regularly, injuries do happen in life generally. So now when you got through that tough part, you got over that hurdle mentally, physically. Now you got to put it down on the track. Talk to us about that part. Talk to us about getting to the national stadium, putting on the bib, the penny, and getting out there and performing. What was the feeling like?
Well, the feeling was nerve wracking because if you're not nervous, I'm telling you, you're not going to go there and do anything. So everybody that do tracks or football, be
Hold
nervous.
on, Tanille. Repeat that again for me, because Francis is of the belief that if you're nervous, that means you haven't been training well. Nerves only come from bad preparation. That's this is next up's. I think this is next up one of next up's opinion on nerve. So it's surprising to hear you come now. We just had this discussion a few days ago and say if you're not nervous, you're not gonna perform. Explain a little bit more about that.
Okay, so my perspective on the nervous thing. So I get nervous every time I go on the track, whether it's track meet or a small thing that we do. I get nervous all the time. So when I'm at a track meet or at champs, I just pray. I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray. I just keep praying, asking God to guide me through the races, help me to go in there injury free and stuff like that. I'm always nervous, so I just free my mind, use the music as a positive to get my mind set up for the races and stuff like that. And I don't eat anything. I try not to eat a lot, but I drink water and stuff like that. I try not to eat anything because if I eat, straight to the bathroom and I can't out that. So
So
I try not to eat anything. I refrain from eating stuff.
so would you say the nervousness came from you not knowing after missing so much time with the injury and not knowing how you're going to perform? or was it just the atmosphere, like seeing all them people in the stands and stepping foot on the tracks, getting into the blocks? Like, talk to us about that.
Well, the nervous thing is like it just come out of nowhere. It's not. It's like we expect to do good. That's why we're nervous. And the crowd most of all would make us nervous because there are a lot of people watching. People expect the best from you, and you're nervous that you're going to bring them, like go out there and not do your best, and all your best is good enough. So the nervous thing come from a lot of stuff.
Okay, all right. So talk to us a little bit about your first event at the champs. Which day and which day was that? Because we know champs is our 6 day or 5 day.
It's
Five,
5 days.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
your event, you would take the track on which day? Which day?
I ran on the third day,
Third day. And what event
the
was that?
fourth day, and the fifth day.
Yeah. So the first day, what event did you run? Talk to us a little bit about that.
The 200 meters around the heats.
And how was that performance? What did?
It wasn't my best, but I tried because I got lane 8, so I had to run full on out to make the semifinals. And I came in third, but I still made it through.
Okay. So was that your first 200-meter event at the champs? At the championships?
Yes, it was because normally my main event would be the 100 meters at champ.
And the 4x1.
Yes, and the fullback.
Okay. And so how was the performance on the semi-final day?
Well, finals. The semifinals, I got lane 1, so I got to see everyone. So in my mind, I'm seeing everyone. So I just had to catch every struggle that I see because everyone is in front. So I have to try and run. So when I heard the gum, I just ran and I ran. But in the straight away, when I coming off the curve, I got a good curve though. But when I went into the straight, it's like my body couldn't go anymore.
Okay.
Even I was trying and I tried. And I came in seventh and I didn't make the final.
Okay.
I was after that race I thought about everything. Like I need more training, need more strength work because my body was weak. Because as I said before, of my leg injury, I was out for some couple times. So I couldn't make up on that training that I missed.
So do you feel like during that time, like what was going through your mind? Did you blank out, or did you, like, while you're running, you're like, come on, body, get going? Like, what were you saying to yourself in that moment when you know that you can hit that next gear, but it's just not going? Like, what are you thinking? Like, talk to us about that moment.
Well, to be honest, I was trying. I was singing as hard as I can. And in that moment, I was saying, like, why are my arms moving faster than my legs? So my legs couldn't go, but my arms could go. But I need my legs to go. So I could make it through. But it didn't work. So I was kind of disappointed. But not really in a way that I'm going to bring down myself because, like, I'm not used to doing the 200 meters at champs. Trained. I wasn't training to do the 200 at champs. I was training to do the 100. So I didn't expect to do the 200. So I just came and do my best.
Okay. All right. So after a performance like that in the semi-final, how do you recover knowing you had the 4x1 to run? And to some extent, I what's the preferred leg you would normally run when you're running the 4x1? And tell us a bit about when the changes come about that you when you learn you had to run that disaster, that detrimental second leg, that back stretch. Yeah, talk to us a little bit about that. The recovery process from finishing 17 to 200 to now getting mentally prepared to go and compete still at a high level in the 4x1.
Well, after the finals, when I came seventh, I came back around to the 10th, knowing that I have a 4x1 like couple minutes after. So I was resting, I was drinking water and stuff like that. Then it was time to get my body ready for the 4x1. And we practiced, and the first practice that we made, I was giving her the button. My teammate, I was giving her the button, and I missed her hand. So I was saying like to myself, am I going to be able to do this or not? So I went back and I tried again, and I made it. I put the stick in her hand. So I was like, this leg is not my usual leg because normally I would first it to the second leg. And I was saying, this leg is not my leg, so what am I going to do?
Yeah, but hold on, stick up. But at the Gibson, and at the something there, you run the anchor leg. So what's the difference? Yeah. So you were expecting maybe to run the anchor leg or to start it.
Um, for the Gibbs, that was, I think it was last year when I was in class two, my second year class, I ran the anchor leg.
So which leg do you run? Which of the legs? Which of the legs do you personally would rather to run?
I really had to first it, the first leg, to be
First
honest.
leg? Okay. Okay.
Why is that? Break it down for those who are not so proficient in track as to why the first leg you would enjoy over the second, the third, or the anchor leg, the fourth leg.
Because personally, I think strong with the start, I could give them the best start that I have in me. So, yeah, I prefer
Which
that.
position? Which position on the track do you think in a 4x1 carries the most weight in terms of pressure, in terms of execution, in terms of propelling the team into a good position to win that 4x1?
Well, everyone says the second leg, and I really agree with them because they always put the strongest person on the second leg and the most fastest person on the second leg to build up by the race. If for instance, if you didn't get a good start, you have the second leg to build it up back, or if the second leg is not strong, you have the third leg that could bring up the race, that really bring up the race. Because when you're on the third leg, everyone can see which position everyone is in, the exact position that you're in. And the last leg, just bring it home.
All right. What other event did you compete in? You competed in the one or you didn't compete in the one?
No, I didn't compete.
Okay, so it was just a 200 and a 4x1.
That's it.
So overall, how are you feeling about your overall performance at the champs?
Well, I thought that I tried, but it wasn't all that my best because I'm still recovering from my injury and the training that I missed out. So I really think it wasn't all that my best, but I tried.
All right. So what's next? Talk to us about what's next. Cause this can't be. You can't go out like that. You can't go out like that. You gotta remind them. Yeah, you gotta remind them just who you are. So talk to us about what's next.
Well, I don't think I have thought about what is next, to be honest.
Do you see yourself running final year class one this year? Next year?
Ah, I'm not so sure.
After wow, really? Okay. All right. So if you're if it is so let me ask you a question. You have been competing at champs from class 4. That would be grade 7 or grade 8.
Grade 7.
Grade 7. So 5 years of champs under your belt. Give us a little bit about the season you guys won it the first time, because you were a part of that team as well, right?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, give us a little bit about the feeling, about the celebration. Just give us a feedback.
Um, During that time, the celebration was good, but at the end of the day, we are one. But you have to look back into yourself and think if you really did your best, even though your entire team won, and you want to celebrate as well. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna feel like you're supposed to be celebrating.
Because how big of a part did you play, right?
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause it all comes down to how much did you contribute to the overall victory. It makes you celebrate just a little bit more, even though it's a individual thing, but it's a team. You want to make sure that you put your best foot forward, and that's why I asked you. It seems to me like off the injury and this performance that you lost your love for track. Are you done with track and field? Is that what you saying? Because you're looking like you done with. You're looking like you ready to dash your track and field. Talk to it.
I wouldn't say I'm ready to dash it away, but I think I just think this is the end for me at this point.
Uh, all right. So I like how you brought up that first year you guys won it. The you celebrate, but you didn't celebrate enough based on the fact that you personally you didn't feel like you contributed enough. Fine. Talk to us about the second time you guys won it when you actually contributed. Yeah, talk to us about that celebration and that feeling then, because that year was the first year you actually won a medal.
Yes, that was the year that I finally contributed to something, and it was you could see the difference in when you don't contribute anything and when you contribute something. So I was so happy that year that we won because I was on the anchor leg. And it's exciting when you're on the anchor leg because you get a spotlight and stuff like that. So
Spotlight, explain to the persons who don't know when they say anchor leg, and explain to the persons, the viewers,
the
about that
anchor
anchor leg. What's the spotlight? Yeah, what's the anchor leg?
the anchor leg would be in the last leg. So you're the person that is bringing it home. So whether you win or anything, you're the person that's going through the finish line.
I think I have that semifinal run that it's supposed to be up, but you got the button. You're on the anchor leg in the semifinal, and
Mm,
you got
in the
yeah,
final.
yeah. You didn't run the semifinal.
No,
It eats.
for Gibson, I think it's Gibson
No,
got it.
no. So you in no at champs when you guys came second. Not the year that you won, the year you guys won the trophy for the second time.
For the 4x1 at Champs.
Yeah. Oh, I'm mixing it up with Gibson.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, yeah. All right, go ahead, continue. I think I am mixing up with Gibson. So when you get the ankle leg now, you are the one who is carrying it across the line. You are the one all the cameras are turned to. How did you feel? Oh,
I felt happy because like when the button came when it was coming around, like I was so nervous. I was telling myself, like sometimes I forgot things. So it's like your tape should be on the left side or the right side. I was telling myself all that stuff. I was telling myself
During
that,
the race?
yeah, in my head. And I kept wiping off my hand because my hand was sweating, like seriously sweating. I had to wipe off my hand because I don't want to drop the button or anything. So I was wiping off my hand, and and I saw the button coming around, and my teammate was in third,
So which
but
position? I was just gonna ask you that. Which position did you collect that button in?
I got the button in third, and I was like, "Man, I have to bring this one home." And I was running, and that's all I was thinking about to make it through the line. And there were two girls in front of me, and I said, God, I have to catch one of them. And I ran. And we came in second, so I was happy that I brought up the team.
Yeah, that performance, Francis. That performance. That run from third place to came in second for the silver. That's one of the best running I've ever seen she put down.
One for the ages,
That,
huh?
yeah, yeah.
I only got one more question that I want to ask. My last question I want to ask is, give me your pros and con, so your advantage, disadvantage of champs. So all your years of competing at boys and girls champs, let me know what are the good and what are the bad that you have experienced at champs as an athlete.
So my advantages are that I went to champs with a good mindset, and I was telling myself that I need to do my.
So no bad experience, no good experience.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. From you being at champs
Good
as an athlete,
experience
like, what did you what bad did you experience and what good did you
from
experience
the
that you taken away?
the call area, or whether is it the call area, whether is it on the track, whether the starters, what were the good and what were the bad? What were the highlights?
About myself?
No, about the championship, about champs itself.
Oh, like my teammates' performances, that was a good thing.
No man, no. So last year, for example, it last year, Francis. You guys they had a lot of false start because of the equipment. That was when the equipment were as
Having
you shift your
malfunction,
foot,
the equipment was
yeah,
failing.
as you shift your foot on the block, it's a false start. Reaction times, it has used reaction time and I give people false start because they are saying the human being cannot react at a certain. So once you react too fast, it's automatically a false start. How was that experience? So you going in the blocks, knowing the days before, almost every race, there are at least 2 or 3 false start. What was going through your head?
I wasn't really worried about the fast starting because I never fast started in my life when I'm doing track. So I wasn't worrying about that because
Hmm?
I was listening for the gun. I'm not going to go off before the gun.
Okay. So
Final
final, my
question,
final,
campus.
my
'Cause
final
we don't
question.
want to keep our guests too long, you know.
Yeah, my final question to you: what advice would you give to the youngsters who are going into track and field at the high school level?
My advice is to always have a positive mindset. Don't let anyone bring down your good energy. Just keep going no matter if they try to bring you down. Just keep going. Tell yourself that you could go more. And you have to be strong doing this event, doing this sport. You have to be strong. Have a strong mindset, a positive mindset. You have to be mentally strong and also physically strong.
So
Okay.
for me personally, from watching as a spectator, you know, my pros and cons to champs that I've seen is I don't like the fact that the athletes don't have enough time to run between races. It's more likely for you to get injured. So you're going from one event to the other. I think it can be better organized to where you give an athlete at least, couple hours between an event. So instead of you running like a 200 and then you got to go run, 4x1 or another event, they give you enough time. I think those are some of the things that can be tweaked, can be worked on, to ensure athlete safety and to ensure better performances, right? Because better performances give you a better product. It gives more athletes a better opportunity to reach their absolute best when they're at their absolute best. And running from event to event to event, especially without proper nutrition, proper hydration, what I'm saying, proper recovery. I think a lot of athletes, they get turned away. The other thing that I find is the the officials, they can be a little bit more lenient with the youth in
Yeah,
terms of giving them more
they're
leniency
intimidated.
with the yellow card and the red card. I think it's way too harsh, in my personal opinion.
It's unfair too.
Now the thing about that, I wouldn't say the cards are the part that I don't like. You're dealing with these young athletes. You're getting them ready for the international stage, and you don't want an athlete to ask you, what did I do wrong? We have seen it last year where the officials were basically turning away from the athletes. They didn't want to talk to no athletes whatsoever. And that's the part I don't like. The athlete false start, your false start, X, Y, and Z. But when the athletes start, don't like your, and we didn't see that this year, but we have seen it last year. So Tanille, one thing
Hold
before you go, Miss Smiley.
on, before you go, I want to get her thoughts on what's your thoughts on that, because you were gonna say something, and then I have one more little piece. What were you gonna say on that, Tanya?
I was going to say that I saw this year. I saw that I think it was a Excelsior girl. She it was so obvious that she false started, and it was biased because they came out with a warning card for her when it was so obvious that she false started, and they let the race go on, and then they call it back again, and still didn't take her out, so she won twice. And for example, my teammate that was in the 100 semifinals, I think. I, Everyone thought that it was the girl in lane 8 that first started, and they came with a red card for my teammate. So I thought that was biased because how can they say she moved her foot when it was obviously the girl next to her? So they
There's
have
new
lenience
start
on
blocking.
some. So
So
that's
those type of things again will turn away athletes from wanting to compete and go even further when you're fighting not only the time, the clock, but you got to fight the officials as well. That's making things a bit unfair. So those are some of the things that I see. Some of the pros is obviously giving these athletes an opportunity to perform at the highest level, for the world, because the world does tune in and watch champs. To be very honest, but
Yep.
at the same time, um, there's some things that we can do better to ensure that it's more pleasant. You know what I'm saying? More athletes go through so much to get to that stage. One of the other things that I would like to see personally, I don't know how you feel about this team, but there's a lot of schools that might not have blocks. So give some type of tutorial on some of the athletes that's never been in a block.
Especially the class fours. They deal with the class fours for to me a little bit too harsh. These are youngsters. Some of them is their first time running with blocks. So you're right, especially the class four.
How was your first time in the blocks before you go?
I don't think I remember my first time in the blocks. Maybe in training, but my coaches taught me how to set my blocks. So I
And
obviously
but and
taught the
who is the coach for the people?
Mr. Corbin.
Ah, that's the man right there, Francis. That's the man right there, man. That's the man for the 400, the 4x1. That's the man right there.
I just want to say thank you very much for your time. A great opportunity to be able to talk to you. Um, I feel bad that you didn't get an opportunity to really give it your best because the injury kind of slows you down. But the fact that you got out there and did it just shows your heart and your desire to get it done. I look forward to see what's next with you in your future, in your career, whatever it may be. I'm sure Pops will let the world
I
know
know what's next.
at the
I know
top of
what's
the
next.
mountain and let us know what it is going on with you. So again, congratulations on your competition, competing at champs, and all your successes that you had. And we ain't worrying about the failures. You understand? Big up yourself every time, young Smiley.
Thank you for
All right.
having me.
All right. Then, so.
Oh, you have to close it off, Campos. You have to say.
No, man. So, thanks again for the first episode of Campus All Sports. We're going to get more interviews, whether it's football, soccer, or on the track. So just look out for more. This is our first episode. Thanks to my amazing guest, my lovely princess, my daughter, Tanille Smiley. I know what's next for her. She ain't putting it down. Not as long as I'm alive. So big up, big up to the Hydel coaching fraternity. A
Believe
job well done. Yeah, this is a job well done. Cause
you can't go on now. Don't make you can't go on now.
no man, I'm
Stop.
picking up the coaching staff, man. A job well done. Mr. Bennett, Miss Walker, Mr. Johnson, and the entire Hydel coaching staff. So Campus All Sports. Catch you on the bounce. We're out.